Hello and welcome to Core and Glutes Burn by Sara Yoga. I'm Kat and it's lovely to have you here. And this is going to be a quite challenging yoga and Pilates class, Yogalates mixed together. So I hope you enjoy it. We're starting in a comfortable seated position. Let your mind scan over your body and be aware of your breath. On your inhalation, shrug your shoulders right up to your ears. Feel your lower spine is long. Exhale, the shoulders slide down the back. Keep the lower spine long. Continue with the breath, inhaling, shoulders shrug up, and exhale them down. And again. One more time. And then sinking the shoulders down the back, feeling like you have loads of space between ears and shoulders. We're going to keep those shoulders planted down the back. Float your arms up to shoulder height and circle your wrists a few times in each direction. Relax your arms down and then float your arms up again, bringing fingertips onto shoulders. Inhale as you circle your elbows forward and up. Exhale, circle them back and down. Continue with the breath. Lovely deep breath in as you circle those elbows up, expand the chest. Breathe it out as they circle down. One more big circle, and then we're changing direction. So inhale, circling back and up, and exhale, forward and down. Keep going with the breath. Keep lengthening up through the lower spine, and keep breathing wide and full into the chest as the elbows lift. Last round, relax the hands down. Some loose circles with the shoulders as you sink them down the back. On your exhalation, drop your chin towards your chest. Inhale, circling the chin up and around. And exhale, chin towards the chest again. Keeping shoulders down away from the ears, maybe fingertips down by the sides for a deeper stretch around the neck area. Last round in this direction, and then let's circle back up the other way. As you lift the chin, make sure the back of the neck stays long, that you're not craning or flopping the head back. Just feel space around the throat. Last circle, and bring your head back to center. Palms to touch. Keep shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, reaching arms up, interlock the fingers, turn the palms towards the ceiling. Exhale, drop the chin. Inhale, head to center, and exhale as you lean over to the side. Keep your bottom grounded down. Inhale, back to center, and exhale over to the other side. Push the palms up and away. Inhale to center, bring palms to touch, and exhale, twist from the base of the spine, looking out over the back shoulder. Reaching up again, exhale as you twist, the hands can float down. And inhaling, reaching up. Interlock the fingers again, palms towards the ceiling. And exhale, push the palms forward as you round your shoulders, pushing palms away. Inhale, reaching up. Release the hands and exhale. The hands float down and behind you, clasping hands together, palms in towards each other, and roll the shoulders back. Big stretch across the chest. Change the clasp of the hand so the other little finger is on the top this time. It will feel a little bit strange. And breathe wide and full into the chest. Work to sink your shoulders down your back and away from your ears. Beautiful pectoral stretch. And release the hands. So you might want to change your position so you're facing towards the short edge of your mat with some mat space behind you. Sit bones on the floor, knees bent, feet flat, about inner hip distance apart. Long lengthened spine. Suck your tummy in, lift your pelvic floor, feel strong through the core, and exhale as you roll back. Inhale as you come back to center and lengthen up, feel centered on the sit bones. Exhale, rock into the back edges of the sit bones, rounding the spine as you roll back. Inhale, lengthening up, but that top of the inhalation, you're really lengthening. Keep going with the breath. You might like to bring your arms out to shoulder height for a little bit more challenge. If you are keeping your fingertips on the floor, make sure you're not pushing with the fingertips, they're just drapes on the floor. All of this work is coming from your core. You might find your legs get a little bit too straight. We don't want to do that. We want to keep about a 45-degree angle bend at the knees so you can adjust your position if you need to. Keep going, keep hollowing out through the core. Imagine drawing your tummy button in towards your spine and lift the pelvic floor. Imagine the pelvic floor is like an aeroplane. drawing its wheels up and in. 3 more to go, only rolling back as far as you can keep control over the motion. If you start to shake, then you can stop or go back a little bit less far. That's 2, and just 1 more. Shoulders are away from the ears. And 1. Well done. So we're going to roll all the way down to the floor now using the roll back. If it's too much for you, you can come to your side and use the strength of your arms to lower yourself down, then come onto your back instead. Have a full body stretch, stretching long from fingertips to toes. Try not to flare the ribs too much, but think about being a long pencil. Bring your arms back down by your side. Take your time, rolling over to your side. Use the strength of your arms to make your way up to sitting. And come to be centered on your sit bones again, long and lengthened spine, feet parallel, knees bent. Hold your legs behind the thighs and rock to the back edges of your sit bones, keeping your back very straight into boat balance. Maybe bring one shin parallel to the floor. Swap over and try the other one. Shoulders are away from the ears, core is engaged. See if you can straighten one of your legs. Don't worry if you can't, just stay at the level that's right for you. See if you can straighten the other one. Keep hollowing out the belly, tummy in towards the spine. Maybe you can do both legs straight. This is really challenging. Well done. And maybe you can keep your shins parallel to the floor instead. Keep breathing. Thighs are magnetizing in towards each other, even if the knees are not touching. And then hug your knees in, rounding over. Relax your shoulders, cosmic egg pose. Change the cross of the arms. Come into a cross-legged seat, reach your arms around and up, and clasp your hands at the lower base of the skull. Inhale as you lift the heart, coming into a back bend. And exhale as you round the shoulders, bring the elbows forward. Inhale, elbows come back. Feel like you're lifting the base of the skull, lengthening the back of the neck. Exhale, round. Inhale, shine the chest, open the heart. Use the hands to lift the base of the skull. Exhale, round. Come back to the center. Coming forward onto hands and knees, with hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Inhale as you shine the chest forward, turn the tailbone up. Exhale as you tuck your tail under and round your spine, relax the neck. Inhale, shine the chest forward, up cat. Exhale, round into round cat. Continue with the breath. Just letting the back muscles get a nice stretch out, reversing the curves of the spine. Mobility for the spine here. And after this next round, send your bottom up and back into downward facing dog. It's okay to keep the knees bent and the heels lifted. Come back to hands and knees. Extend your right leg out behind you. We're doing 15 repetitions here. Breathe naturally and engage your core as you lift your leg up and down. As you lift it, bring it higher than hip height. As you bring it down, bring it in line with the rest of your spine. As you lift up your leg, you will deepen through the curve of the lower back, a bit like the up cat position that we just did. When you bring your leg down into alignment with your spine, have a flat back like the flat cat position on hands and knees. Last one, then on hands and knees, round your spine into round cat and come back into a flat cat position. Raising your right leg up with the knee bent at a right angle and circle from the hip. We're doing 15 circles in each direction. This is tough. Keep breathing. Relax the face and jaw. Keep drawing tummy in towards the spine and keep sliding your shoulders down your back and away from your ears. Last few circles now. You're doing really, really well. And then bringing your knee down and having a big round for the spine. Relax the neck. And then come back into a flat cat position. Raising your knee up again and circling in the opposite direction. Make those circles as big as you can, but always stay in control of this movement. Make them as smooth as you can, but just observe if there are areas that feel sticky as you go around the circle, or if it's not smooth, and that's all okay. Keep the pelvis as level as you can. Once you've done 15 circles, bring your knee down and round your spine into round cat. Relax the neck, let the head hang down. Really push the floor away with your hands. Then send your bottom up and back into downward facing dog. Paddle out the feet, dropping one heel, then the other. Keep pointing your tailbone up and back. And then having a few breaths in that downward dog pose. Just really push your tailbone up towards the line between the ceiling and the wall. When you're ready, lower down to hands and knees. And we're going to do all that on the other side. So stretch the left leg out behind. And kicking the leg up and back to hip height. 15 repetitions here. Squeeze the butt. Notice how you come into a little bit of a back bend as you lift the leg up and then back to a neutral spine as you bring the leg back to hip height. Keep going. This is going to be great for your glutes. Be conscious that you have your shoulders down away from your ears, sliding down your back. You might have a very soft elbow bend to stop you locking out through the elbows and engage your core, tummy drawn in. Last round, bringing your knee down and having a big round into round cat. Send your bottom up and back into downward facing dog. Lower down to hands and knees and rest in child pose. Keep the hands grounded, come back to hands and knees. Lifting your left leg up, keep the knee bent and circle from the hip. And we are doing 15 circles in each direction here. These are tough. Try to keep the hips level, so flat across the lower back and the sacral area level, not tipping the pelvis. As you circle, lift the knee as high as you can. This is working all the muscles around the hip. When you finish 15 in this direction, rest down, have a round cat, and then circle the other way. About 15, don't worry if you lose count. Let your body tell you. This is also great for mobility of the hip. Think of that hip, it's a ball and socket joint, so you're thinking of the ball of the hip rotating around in the socket, stirring around like stirring a pot of porridge, making great mobility and strength in your hip. Bring your knee down, have a big round through the spine into round cat. Send your bottom up and back into down dog. Paddle out the feet. Lovely hamstring stretch, push the floor away. And slowly lower down to hands and knees and rest down in child pose. Deep breaths into the lower back. Feel relaxed. Suck the tummy in as you roll all the way up to sitting. And you might like to use a resistance band for the next exercise. You don't have to. If you're using one, you're going to come onto hands and knees and just hook that band around your lower legs, kind of lower calf area. You can choose a thicker one for more resistance or a thinner one for a bit less resistance. Coming to hands and knees, long through the spine, not bunched up with hands too close to knees. Suck tummy in, lift pelvic floor, inhale and exhale as you bring your knee out to the side and inhale it back underneath the hip. Repeating 9 times here. So that's 3. And we're keeping the back level for the sacrum level. 5, so that flat bone at the base of the spine. 6, it's not going to tip, the pelvis isn't tipping. 7, and you're only lifting that leg as high as you can. 8, to not tip the pelvis. 9, well done, have a nice big round for the spine. And we're going to do the other side. 1, keep that sacrum as level as you can. It is tricky. You might have to limit your movement because if you bring that leg up too high, the sacrum tips. This is going to work your outer hip muscles and your core is working to keep you stable. So this is toning for the core. 2 more to go. No wobbling. Last round here, placing the knee down, rounding into round cat, flattening into flat cat. Taking the band away and sending your bottom up and back into downward facing dog. Lower back to hands and knees. Stretch your right leg out behind you, lift it up to hip height. Sweep it out to the side like drawing half a rainbow. Bring it back to center and sweep it over to the other side, completing the rainbow. Continuing here. So we're inhaling as we bring the leg up to hip height, exhaling to the side, inhale to center, exhale over to the other side. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Keep going with the breath. We're doing 15 of these. So you're imagining you're drawing a rainbow behind you. Rainbow leg sweeps. Inhale, leg to hip height, exhale to the side, inhale to hip height, exhale to the other side. Strengthening and toning hips and buttocks. As always, shoulders away from the ears, a soft elbow bend so you're not locking your elbows. Tummy drawn in, pelvic floor lifted. Keep breathing, you're doing great. This is going to tone your glutes so well. Don't worry if you've lost count, make that the last one. Bringing your right knee behind the right wrist, a little bit out to the right. Sweep the right foot across the midline of the body and flex the right foot. You don't have to bring that foot a long way across the body, just a comfortable distance. Sending the left leg out behind you, pointing out through the toes. The hips are level. It doesn't matter if you haven't got your hips very low, but make sure they are level. You can stay upright as I was before, or you can lean forward as I am demoing here, maybe coming to your elbows or even all the way forehead to the mat depending on your flexibility. But just make sure you're not dropping your right or your left hip. That pelvis is level no matter how high your hips are. Breathe into the right buttock, that's where you're going to be feeling the stretch. It's probably going to feel quite intense after we've just done all those rainbow leg sweeps, really using the glute. Walk your hands back towards you, press back to hands and knees, round the spine, relax the neck. Come back to downward dog. Have a paddle for the feet. Keep relaxing your neck. Have a few breaths in stillness and downward dog. Come back to hands and knees. Let's do the other side. So left leg comes out to hip height. Inhale. And exhale, sweep it out to the side, drawing half the rainbow. Inhale to center. Exhale, complete the rainbow. Inhale, back to hip height. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Note that when you bring your leg up to hip height, you're not bringing it higher than hip height. You're just bringing it up to hip height so that you're not dipping through the lower back or coming into a back bend. You're keeping a neutral spine. So when that leg comes up to hip height, really extend out through the toes. Suck tummy in, lift pelvic floor, neutral spine. 15 repetitions. You're doing really great. Keep breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Strengthening and toning hips, glutes. Last round, bring your knee underneath the hip and then behind the left wrist, a little bit out to the left. Sweep the foot across the midline of the body, flexing the foot, stretching your right leg out behind you, pointing out through the toes. With the heart lifted here, it's called the king pigeon. Think of that pigeon with his chest puffed forward. Keep rolling your shoulders back. Maybe you'd like to come forward into a deeper version of the pigeon pose. This will stretch more intensely into the left buttock. It'll feel like a little bit more of a release and a stretch for the lower back as well. Keep breathing. Breathe into the left buttock, stretch the right leg out behind you. The right leg is keeping you balanced and stable. The pelvis is level. Face and jaw relaxed. Walk your hands towards you, press into your hands, press back to hands and knees. Round into round cat. Relax that neck. Come back into down dog. Breathing here. Now we're going to take a wave through the spine. So we're tucking the tailbone under. And as you exhale, feel like a wave is moving up the spine, rounding the shoulders as the shoulders come over the hands and flattening into plank. So keep breathing here. Make sure you're not dropping your hips. You're a nice long line from the crown of the head to the heels. Feel your heels extending away from you. Imagine your sit bones extending down towards your heels. Tummy drawn in, pelvic floor lifted, face and jaw relaxed. And so then we're going to come into a side plank. So bringing your weight over into your right hand. Turning your feet so that you keep your left sole of the foot on the mat and reach the left arm up, coming to the outside edge of the right foot. Keep pushing the floor away, keep lifting from the underneath side of the body. Come back to center and come to the other side. So the sole of the right foot's on the floor, you're on the outside edge of the left foot, the hips are lifted. You're a long lean line from crown to heels. Come back to your plank. Well done. That was really intense. Exhale as you lower yourself down to the mat, keeping your elbows in, staying in that long lean line. Bring your elbows under your shoulders and shine your heart forward. The tops of the feet are on the mat, grounding down through the baby toe side of the feet. So the little toenails are grounding down. Your tummy's on the mat, but you're not sinking it into the mat. So suck the tummy in, lift the pelvic floor. Imagine there was a little tiny daisy underneath your tummy and you don't want to squish that flower. This is Sphinx pose, a gentle back bend. Suck your tummy in and tuck your tailbone to draw your bottom up and back, pressing into your elbows and round your spine off the mat, like a kind of round cat from Sphinx pose. Then inhale as you sink your hips down with control and shine the heart forward back into Sphinx pose. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, lifting your abdomen off the mat. Feeling a stretch in between the shoulder blades, relax the neck. Inhale as you slowly, with control, lower back into Sphinx pose. Keep core engaged. We shall do a few more repetitions of this. It's amazing for core strength and also gives you a beautiful back stretch. If you're interested in more variations of Sphinx pose and creative movements you can do from Sphinx pose, then check out the video on my channel called Yoga Quickie Sphinx Pose. So one more time, tucking the tail, really engage the core, suck tummy and lift pelvic floor, round the lower back, round the upper back, rest into the elbows. And then inhaling as you lower the hips down with control, lift the heart, shine it forward. Bring your right knee up and out to the side to get a stretch through the inner hip. And release it back, extending the leg out behind you. Bring the left knee up. Breathe. Good. Extend that leg out behind you. Wonderful. And resting forward, making a diamond shape with your hands to rest your forehead in. Relax everything here. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Push up to hands and knees. Have a round through the spine into round cat. And send your bottom up and back into downward dog. Paddle out the feet. Lovely. Keep the fingers nice and spread, the neck relaxed, making your spine as long as possible. You can draw your tummy in and feel that Mula Bandha engagement. Inhale your right leg up and exhale as you bring it forward, knee to nose, shoulders stuck over the hands. Inhale, right leg up and exhale, bring the knee forward and out to the side right elbow. Inhale, reach it up and exhale forward to the opposite elbow, shoulders over the hands. Inhale, reach it up. You're doing great. And exhale. Bring the knee to the outside edge of the right wrist. Another pigeon pose here. So great for stretching out the glutes. We've been working them hard today. Keep stretching out through your left toes. Feel that left leg engaged like a rudder, keeping you balanced. Remember to keep the pelvis level, not letting the right or the left hip drop down. King pigeon with the heart shined forward, or you can deepen into that pigeon pose by leaning forward. Enjoy this stretch, you've earned it. Nice deep breaths into the buttock. That's where you'll feel that lovely stretch. Walk your hands back towards you, coming up again to king pigeon and grounding into your hands to slide back to hands and knees. Rounding into round cats. Flattening into flat cat, then coming into downward facing dog. Paddle out the feet. So then we're doing the same sequence with the left leg. This is amazing for your core and strengthens your hip flexors too. Inhale, stretch the left leg up. Exhale, bring your weight forward as you bring knee towards the nose and shoulders over the hands. Inhale, stretch that leg back up, downward dog. And exhale, knee to the outside edge of the left elbow. Inhale, stretch up, stretch the tailbone up and back. And exhale, knee to the opposite elbow. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, that left knee forward into pigeon pose, bringing it behind the left wrist, a little bit out to the side, sweeping the foot across the midline of the body, flexing the foot. So I know the mat's a little bit in the way there, but really flex the foot into the mat to give you that strong, stable base, and it helps to protect the knee, to engage the muscles around the knee joint. If you want to come forward, then you can. Just listen to your body. Do what's right for your body. Breathe into the left buttock. And when you're ready, walk your hands back underneath the shoulders. Come back to hands and knees. Have a big round into round cat. Flatten into flat cat. Send your bottom up and back into downward facing dog. Breathing here, stretching that tailbone up and back, hollowing out the abdomen. Relaxing the neck. Let's take another wave through the spine. Tuck the tailbone. Feel that forward bend traveling up the spine, lower back, mid back, upper back, and end up in plank position, shoulders stacked over the hands. Breathing here, keep core engaged, tummy drawn in, pelvic floor lifted. Heels extending out away from you. Exhale as you lower down to the floor in one long piece and inhale into Sphinx pose. Taking a few breaths here, lifting the heart, rolling the shoulders back, grounding down through the tops of the feet, especially the baby toe side of the feet. Buttocks are soft, tummy is drawn in and pelvic floor lifted. Lower your forehead down to the earth. You can cradle the forehead in the arms or make a diamond shape with your hands to rest your forehead in. Breathe into your lower back, relaxing everything. Breathe into your lower back. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, suck your tummy and lift the pelvic floor, press back to hands and knees, round your spine, sink your bottom down into child pose. Resting here for a few moments. Breathing again into the lower back, face and jaw. Relax, feeling the belly expanding against the thighs. Massaging the belly. Draw the tummy in and lift the pelvic floor as you slowly roll up to sitting. Bring your bottom to the floor and your legs out in front of you, knees bent, feet in hip distance apart, centered on your sit bones and lengthening all up the back of the body. Core engaged, imagine that you're holding a tray. Inhale and exhale. Offer the tray over to the right. Keep shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, offer the tray to the left. Twist through the spine. Inhale, back to center. For more challenge, lean back. Keep the back flat. You're a little bit more to the back edges of the sit bones. And keep going with the breath. inhale to center, exhale, twist. For even more challenge, you can lift your feet off the floor, so you're doing this from a boat balance. Make sure that you are working at the level that's right for you. Keep sucking the tummy in, keep lifting the pelvic floor. You are doing great. Well done. This is really toning for your waistline. It's so good for your core. Inner thighs are working, the hip flexors are working, the core is working. You are doing great. Well done. Make that the last round and hug your knees in, rounding the spine, still on the back edges of the sit bones, cosmic egg balance. Bring your feet to the floor and come down by your side to lie on the mat, rolling onto your back and stretching long. Reach your arms up over your head. Wiggle your hips, stretch your feet away from you. Make yourself as long as possible. Bring your right leg over to the right and bring the left leg to join it, maybe crossing at the ankles. Bring your right arm over to the right and bring your left arm to join it. You can take hold of your left wrist with your right hand to draw up and over on the left side of your body a little more. Deep side stretch all up the left hand side of your body. Relax everything. Melt into the mat. Come back to center, bringing your left leg over to the left. Your right ankle crosses over the left leg. Reach your left arm out to the left and bringing your right hand over to the left hand. Maybe taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand to draw up and over on the right side of the body. Melt into the mats, breathe into the stretch. Deep side stretch for the right side of the body. Take your time, come back to the center, realigning yourself down the middle of the mat. Hug your knees in and rock side to side. Feeling this massaging out the lower back. Keep your right knee hugged in as you stretch your left leg out along the mat, flexing both feet. Imagine the right sit bone extending down towards the foot of the mat so the torso stays long, the pelvis level, belly relaxed. Every inhalation, the belly expands against the right thigh. Every exhalation, the belly falls. Bring your right arm out to the right, relax your feet and ankles, take a nice inhalation. And as you exhale, draw your right knee over to the left side of the body. Don't worry if you can't get it all the way over. You can just support it with your hand gently. Feel that stretch across the lower back and right outer hip area. Deep breaths here. Come back to center. Hugging knees in. Let's do that the other side. So hug the left knee in, flex both feet. Breathe into a relaxed belly. Feel the belly expanding against the thigh. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed, maybe eyes closed. Melt into the mat. So relax the ankles, taking the right hand to the left knee, drawing the knee across the midline of the body. Left arm comes out to shoulder height, or if you haven't quite got space there, bend at the elbow with the palm up, a cactus arm. Remember, only bring that right knee over as far as you're comfortable to go. Just melt into that lower back. Melt into your outer hip. Nice deep breaths. This is such a perfect stretch after our abs and glute workout because we're targeting and stretching those areas which we have worked. Just breathe into the outer hip. Breathe into your waistline. Release the muscles. So then coming back to the center and hugging both knees in, rocking side to side. Last little massage out for the lower back. Have another full body stretch, stretching long like a pencil. Beautiful. So coming over to your side and using the strength of your arms to make your way up to sitting. Notice how you feel. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this yoga class. Please do like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. It means so much personally to me to see you supporting the channel. So thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video.